My brothers and sisters, we were having the Bible study on the book of Judges. We have completed 8 chapters and we are going to reflect today in the 9th chapter. Let's take the 9th chapter, verse 1. Let's read. Now Abimelech, son of Jerubbaal. In the last chapter we studied that Gideon, his another name is Jerubbaal. He has 70 children, 70 sons, 70 people. So Abimelech is one of them. That we read in chapter 8 verse 31. Judges chapter 8 verse 31, we read like this. These Gideon had 70 sons. His concubine who was in Shechem also bore him a son, and he named him Abimelech. So he had many wives, one concubine. So Gideon had 70 sons, his own offspring, for he had many wives. And 31, and one of those sons' name is Abimelech. Now he is the main character in the chapter 9. Let's read chapter 9 verse 1. Now Abimelech, son of Jerubbaal, went to Shechem. Why Shechem? Because that is his mother's house. Shechem, his mother belongs to the place from Shechem. So he came to Shechem to his mother's kinsfolk. Kinsfolk means family members. And said to them, and to the whole clan of his mother's family, the whole clan of his mother's family, and said, I belong to your clan. Others, 69 of them, they belong to another clan. You know, the spirit of division is working through him. The devil works in a holy place with the first thing is spirit of division in the name of color, in the name of language, in the name of nationality, in the name of many things. They divide the ministry, divide the people. The first attack of the devil is this. He will create kind of division among us, division among your family. Many families are divided and destroyed today, saying your family, my family. Your mother-in-law, my mother. And you speak only to your family, you don't speak to my family. So these kinds of divisive spirit is working in many families. Though both of them are supposed to leave their mother and father and be united to each other, they are not getting united, but instead accusing each other in the name of someone else. So this is one of the work of the devil. The devil attacks the families like this. Devil attacks the ministries like this. So then this man Abimelech came and said, say in the hearing of all the lords of Shechem, he said, say in the hearing of all the lords of Shechem, which is better for you, that all 70 of the sons of Jerubbaal rule over you, or that one rule over you? Remember also that I am your bone and your flesh. He is putting a question in front of them. Gideon was the leader for all of them. In fact, when people wanted to make Gideon as the king, Gideon had told like this. Judges chapter 8 verse 24. We read like this. Gideon said to them, I will not rule over you, and my son will not rule over you. The Lord will rule over you. That was the command of Gideon. Though the people wanted him to be the king, but this is the message he gave. Though he has some other plans inside, but he spoke like this. Maybe God wanted him to speak like that. But here, chapter 9 verse 2, the same son of this Gideon, he is instigating people to make him the king. And he asked one question. Do you want all the 70 sons to rule over you, or one person to rule over you? And remember, I am your family. I am your bone and your flesh. And then verse 3 we read. So his mother's kinsfolk spoke all these words on his behalf in the hearing of all the lords of Shechem. And their hearts inclined to follow Abimelech, for they said, he is our brother. See, the division already started. In fact, all of them were brothers, and they are all coming from one single father, Jacob, Israel. But still, in the name of clan, they are accusing each other, blaming each other, attacking each other, and they want reservation for each clan. And they said, he is our brother. Therefore, we want to make him king. And verse 4, we read like this. They gave him 70 pieces of silver out of the temple of Baal-berith, with which Abimelech hired worthless and reckless fellows who followed him. Now, as a symbol of leading the whole Israel, instead of 70 leaders, one person leading, as a symbol of it, they gave 70 pieces of silver from the temple of Baal-berith. There was a temple of Baal, and his name is Baal-berith. Different Baals were there. So one Baal is Baal-berith. And from that temple, they took 70 pieces of silver and gave it to Abimelech. Is the first donation. And first donation from the black magic, witchcraft. And he started his ministry to become the king of Israel with the money from the black magic, worshipping of pagan gods. And remember, at the end, he seems to be successful initially, but at the end, disaster. Always remember, any ministry or any business starting with the black magic, witchcraft, or superstitious beliefs, or wrong gods, worshipping wrong things, it seems to be successful initially, but at the end, there will be complete disaster. There is no doubt about it. So they gave him 70 pieces of silver out of the temple of Baal-berith, and which Abimelech hired worthless and reckless fellows. He hired some wrong people because he has wrong intention. Therefore, he doesn't mind taking wrong people. If you have good intention, you will only make friendship with the good people. If you have wrong intention, you will make wrong people friends. If you have lust, you will make friendship with those people who have lustful tendencies. If you have anger, hatred, you will make friendship with those people who have this same kind of attitude. If you have the desire for money, you will make friendship with those people who have desire for money and those who are capable of amassing wealth. So the same thing happens here. They gave him 70 pieces of silver, and from this money, this is a corrupted money. From this corrupted money, this corrupted person hired some corrupted people, and all of them were corrupted. And verse 5, we read like this. Verse 5, he went to his father's house. See, father is from another clan. His wife is from Shechem, this clan. So he went to his father's house at Ophrah and killed his brothers, the sons of Jerubbaal, 70 men on one stone. But Jotham, the youngest son of Jerubbaal, survived, for he hid himself. He killed all his brothers except one, Jotham, because he was hiding. Except Jotham, all his brothers were killed on one stone, with all these wicked people whom he hired. Most probably, since he is the brother, the other brothers trusted him, and they must have listened to him and obeyed him. As a result, he trapped them and then killed them. He trapped and killed all his brothers, and only one of them was saved, because he has the desire to get position and power. My dear brothers and sisters, in fact, desire for money, desire for position, desire for power is an evil possession. Is a sign that there is evil inside, and through which terrible consequence may happen in our behavior and attitude. This Jotham, youngest son of Jerubbaal, survived, for he hid himself. Verse 6, kindly read verse 6. Then all the lords of Shechem and all Beth Millo came together. All the lords of Shechem, all the leaders of Shechem, they came together, and they went and made Abimelech king by the oak of the pillar at Shechem. They made Abimelech king by the oak. Normally, any special things, good actions, normally they do it under the oak tree. That is why when Gideon was in the wine press, he was pressing the wheat, the angel of God came and stood under the oak. And that is why they also believed, the people used to believe, if you are under the oak, no evil will afflict you. So there was a kind of superstitious beliefs. And also it was a Jewish practice. And it was even continued in UK. There is a tradition in UK when St. Augustine of Canterbury reached here in Ramsgate in 6th century. And then the king of this place called Ethelbert, King Ethelbert, he thought St. Augustine is a witch doctor or somebody. He's having the power, supernatural, superstitious belief. So therefore, he was afraid to meet St. Augustine in a public place, but instead he stood under the oak tree and asked St. Augustine to come over there and speak to him, so that he may be safe. So he believed that standing under the oak will protect them. So this is a kind of belief. It was there in the Eastern tradition. And then that is why they made him, Abimelech, king under the oak, by the oak of the pillar at Shechem. They made him, all these leaders of Shechem, they made Abimelech as the king. And then verse 7, when it was told to Jotham, the only brother, the youngest one, he went and stood on the top of Mount Gerizim. Mount Gerizim is a holy mountain. In the kingdom of Israel, they considered the holy mountain, Mount Gerizim, instead of Mount Jerusalem. For the kingdom of Judah, Mount Jerusalem is the most important. For kingdom of Israel, Mount Gerizim. And he went to the top of the Mount Gerizim and cried out loud and said to them, listen to me, you lords of Shechem, so that God may listen to you. If you listen to me, God will listen to you. He said, and then he sings a song. He gives them all a story. And he says, the trees once went out to anoint a king over themselves. So they said to the olive tree, reign over us. So he is giving a parable. And he said, some trees wanted to have a king. So they went to olive tree and said, reign over us. Olive tree is a very good tree. And they told the olive tree to reign over us. Verse 9. The olive tree answered them, shall I stop producing my rich oil by which gods and mortals are honored and go to sway over the trees? So he said, I'm not interested because I have better plans, better ministry to do. So this is the plan of God that I need to do these. I don't want to be the king. And then verse 10. Then the tree said to the fig tree, you come and reign over us. The fig tree is also a very good tree. And they asked the fig tree to do this. And the fig tree answered, shall I stop producing my sweetness and my delicious fruit, go to sway over the trees? So he also excused himself, was not ready to become the king. Then the trees said to the vine, you come and reign over us. These are the main trees of the in Israel. And then the trees said to him, verse 12, let's read. And the tree said to the vine, you come and reign over us. Verse 13. But the vine said to them, shall I stop producing my wine that cheers gods and mortals and go to sway over the trees? Verse 14. So all the trees said to the bramble. Bramble is like a bush. There are lots of ideas, but not strong, solid, not strong. So all the trees said to the bramble. Bramble is a symbol. There are so many bush, but nothing is strong. Like lots of ideas from all the corners, but nothing is concrete. So all the trees said to the bramble, you come and reign over us. And the bramble said to the trees, if in good faith you are anointing me king over you, then come and take refuge in my shade. But if not, let fire come out of the bramble and devour the cedars of Lebanon. So he says, and the brambles said to the trees, if you are making me with good faith, come and stand under my shade. And it's impossible for huge trees to come and stand under the shade of the bramble, because it's a sign that they have to destroy themselves and come under this shade. And then verse 16, can you read? Now therefore, if you acted in good faith and honor when you made Abimelech king, And if you have dealt well with Jerubbaal and his house, and have done to him as his actions deserved. Remember how good Jerubbaal was to you. He protected your country. He did everything good for you. And he deserved a good action from you. Examine your conscience and see, did you act in good faith and honor? For my father fought for you and risked his life and rescued you from the hand of Midianites. And verse 18. But you have risen up against my father's house this day and have killed his sons, 70 men on one stone, and have made Abimelech the son of his slave woman king over the lords of Shechem, because he is your kinsman. Because he is your relations, you made him the king and killed 70 sons of Jerubbaal who risked his life for you. Verse 19. If I say you have acted in good faith and honor with Jerubbaal and with his house this day, then rejoice in Abimelech and let him also rejoice in you. If you have done it with good faith, okay, then rejoice with Abimelech. And verse 20. But if not, let fire come out from Abimelech and devour the lords of Shechem and Beth-Millo, and let fire come out from the lords of Shechem and from Beth-Millo and devour Abimelech. Let there be divisions and fight between you, because intention is not good. If the intention is not good, you will fight between each other and will destroy. So this is always remember, if the intention is not good, will fight between each other and destroy themselves. Verse 21, we read like this. Then Jotham ran away and fled. After saying the truth, he ran away, going to Beer, where he remained for fear of his brother Abimelech. He was so afraid that Abimelech will come and kill him. So he was hiding there in that place.